Imagine this. The world is on edge. Two superpowers are locked in a tense standoff. Missiles sit armed, submarines prowl the oceans, and satellite images show military buildups hour by hour. In the middle of all this, one question emerges. When World War III breaks out, will artificial intelligence make things worse? Or could it actually save us? This isn't science fiction anymore. AI is already embedded in modern defense systems. From drones and cyber warfare to data analysis and even nuclear command decisions, algorithms are becoming silent players in the game of global survival. But whether that makes us safer or more vulnerable, well, that's where things get complicated. Tonight, in Part 1, we'll explore the dark side. How AI could make World War III faster, deadlier, and harder to stop once it begins. For nearly 80 years, the nuclear era has lived under one unspoken rule. Humans, not machines, make the final call. Presidents, generals, and commanders, flawed as they are, hold the authority to launch. That human hesitation, that moment of fear, has been the thin line between life and extinction. But AI doesn't hesitate. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't get tired at 3 a.m. And in the chaos of a global conflict, that speed could be both its greatest strength and its most terrifying flaw. Let's break this down. First, AI makes war faster, much faster. Picture a scenario where AI-driven radar systems detect what looks like an incoming missile strike. Within seconds, automated defense algorithms recommend retaliation. No phone call, no meeting of generals, just instant analysis leading to an instant counterattack. That might sound efficient, but it removes the most important safeguard we've had for decades: human doubt. Think back to 1983, when Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov saw false warnings of incoming American missiles. Computers told him it was real, but Petrov trusted his gut. He waited. He didn't push the report up the chain, and he was right. It was a false alarm. One man's hesitation likely saved the world. Now imagine that same moment in an AI-controlled system. No gut feeling, no hesitation, just code. If an algorithm misclassifies a radar blip, the result could be nuclear launch. And once missiles are in the air, you can't take them back. Second, AI doesn't just speed up decisions. It complicates them. War has always been filled with uncertainty, what military thinkers call the fog of war. In a World War III scenario, AI will be used to jam communications, spread deepfake propaganda, and overwhelm command systems with false signals. That means leaders won't just be reacting to enemy moves. They'll be reacting to AI-generated illusions. An adversary could deploy thousands of fake radar signatures, phantom drone swarms, or fabricated satellite images. The enemy might not even have to launch a real strike. They just need to convince your AI systems that one is coming. And here's the catch. If your system is automated, you might end up retaliating against an attack that never even happened. Third, there's the rise of autonomous weapons. We've all seen drones being used in conflicts today. But what happens when drones don't wait for a human pilot's command? When swarms of AI-guided machines hunt targets on their own? This isn't hypothetical. Militaries are already testing systems where AI selects and engages targets faster than any human could react. In a regional conflict, autonomous systems might sound like a tactical advantage. But in a global conflict, a single misfire could spiral into a chain reaction. Imagine a drone swarm, misidentifying a civilian airliner as a military threat, or an automated artillery system firing across a border by mistake. These errors aren't just possible, History tells us they're inevitable. And in a high-tension environment like World War III, one mistake could set off the unthinkable. Finally, the biggest danger is psychological. If world leaders start to believe their AI systems are smarter than they are, they may defer too much control. They might stop questioning recommendations, stop double-checking alerts, stop asking the simple but life-saving question, are we sure? When machines dictate the pace of conflict, humans become followers, not decision-makers. And the terrifying reality is that in the split-second world of nuclear war, that shift could be fatal. So here's where we stand. AI could make World War III faster, more chaotic, and harder to control. It could strip away the one safeguard we've always had, human hesitation, and replace it with automated certainty. But here's the twist. The same technology that threatens us could also protect us. In Part 2, we'll explore the other side of the equation, how AI might prevent escalation, detect false alarms, and even save humanity from its own worst instincts. Because the story of AI in World War III isn't just about destruction. It's about the possibility of survival. Stay with me. In Part 1, we looked at the nightmare scenario. AI making World War III faster, deadlier, and harder to control. We saw how automation could strip away human hesitation, accelerate false alarms, and even unleash autonomous weapons. But that's only half the story. Because the truth is, AI isn't just a danger. It might also be our best chance at surviving the next great crisis. So let's flip the lens. Tonight, we'll explore how AI could actually save us from World War III. First, let's talk about detection. Humans are emotional. They get tired, they get scared, they make mistakes. AI, on the other hand, can process millions of data points at once without panic. That makes it an incredibly powerful tool for identifying false alarms, the very kind of mistakes that almost triggered nuclear war in the past. Think about the Petrov incident in 1983 again. Soviet systems falsely showed incoming US missiles. Petrov ignored the warnings. But what if he hadn't been there? What if the wrong officer was in charge that night? This is where AI could act as a second layer of defense. Imagine a system designed not to launch missiles, but to question alerts, to check data across multiple satellites, radars, and communication channels, filtering out anomalies. Instead of rushing into retaliation, AI could say, "Wait, double check. Something doesn't add up here." In a world where minutes matter, that extra pause could be the difference between peace and global catastrophe. Second, AI is already showing promise in prediction. Military planners have always tried to anticipate enemy moves, but human analysts are limited. AI can scan vast amounts of intelligence, troop movements, logistics data, even economic indicators, and find patterns invisible to humans. That means AI could give leaders advance warning when tensions are about to boil over. For example, if unusual cyber traffic spikes along with unusual satellite activity, AI could flag it as a potential prelude to conflict. Instead of stumbling into war, leaders would have a clearer picture of escalation risks. They might take diplomatic or defensive measures earlier, lowering the chances of miscalculation. It's not about predicting the future with certainty. It's about buying time, creating windows for de-escalation that humans might otherwise miss. Third, AI can act as a translator, literally and figuratively. In the fog of war, misunderstandings kill. History is full of moments where miscommunication between nations nearly sparked global conflict. During the Cold War, language barriers, mistranslated messages, and delayed communication almost turned tense standoffs into full-scale war. Now imagine AI-driven systems that instantly translate messages with perfect accuracy. Imagine real-time channels that reduce confusion between rival nations, even in moments of maximum tension. Better yet, AI could monitor communication flows for signs of panic or misinterpretation. It could flag phrases likely to be misunderstood, or highlight when one side's intent doesn't match how the other side is reading it. In short, AI could reduce the risk of war by reducing the risk of misunderstanding. Fourth, let's imagine the worst does happen. A nuclear weapon is launched. Even here, AI could play a life-saving role. AI-powered crisis management systems could rapidly map fallout zones, optimize evacuation routes, and coordinate medical responses far faster than human planners. Drones and robotics could deliver supplies to contaminated areas without risking human responders. Instead of chaos, AI could bring structure. Instead of paralysis, it could bring action. The point isn't that AI makes nuclear war survivable. It's that it makes survival more possible. So where does that leave us? AI has two faces, one of danger, one of hope. On one hand, automation threatens to accelerate conflict beyond human control. On the other, it offers tools for restraint, foresight, and survival. Which face we see depends entirely on how we use it. Do we hand AI the launch codes, or do we make it the watchdog that keeps us honest? Do we build weapons that fire themselves, or do we build systems that slow down decision-making when the stakes are highest? The choice isn't technological, it's political, it's human. So far, we've explored both sides. The nightmare of AI driving us into catastrophe, and the hope of AI helping us avoid it. But here's the deeper question. What happens when the line between human and machine decision-making blurs completely? When the generals, the presidents, and the commanders-in-chief rely so heavily on AI that it's no longer clear who is really in control? Let's imagine the war room of the future. Generals sit at a long table. Screens glow with satellite images, cyber traffic maps, and live battlefield updates. At the center of it all is an AI system. Not a robot commander, but a trusted advisor crunching millions of data points in real time. Every recommendation, every risk assessment, every prediction comes from this machine. The generals discuss, but the AI drives the agenda. Decisions that used to take days or weeks are now compressed into minutes, because the AI has already narrowed down the options. Are the humans still in control? Technically, yes. But functionally, they're following the lead of the algorithm. This is the future many defense planners quietly acknowledge. Not AI replacing humans, but AI shaping their choices so heavily that the human role is little more than a signature on a decision already made. And here lies the danger. Trust. If leaders trust AI too much, they risk becoming passive, rubber stamping whatever the system recommends. If they trust it too little, they might ignore warnings that could save millions of lives. Think about it. If an AI system warns of an imminent missile launch, who's willing to bet their nation's survival on the possibility that it's wrong? On the flip side, if an AI says, "No launch detected," who's willing to gamble that it hasn't missed something? The dilemma is brutal. Too much trust, and humans lose control. Too little trust, and AI becomes useless. Balancing that trust could be the single most important factor in whether AI saves us or destroys us. And there's another problem: the AI arms race. Just like the nuclear arms race of the Cold War, nations today are racing to develop more advanced military AI. Faster systems, smarter algorithms, deadlier autonomous weapons. But here's the catch. Unlike nuclear weapons, AI doesn't require uranium mines, secret reactors, or billion-dollar infrastructure. It requires code, and code spreads. That means smaller nations, even non-state actors, could one day wield AI systems powerful enough to disrupt superpowers. The democratization of AI could make the world even more unstable, as more players enter the game with tools that were once reserved for great powers. In short, AI won't just shape World War III if it happens. It might decide whether it happens at all. So, where does that leave us? It leaves us standing on a razor's edge. AI could drive us into catastrophic war by accelerating mistakes, stripping away human control, and fueling a new global arms race. Or it could help us avoid disaster, slow down dangerous decisions, and give humanity the tools to survive. The outcome isn't written in code. It's written in policy, strategy, and the choices leaders make right now. If nations design AI to be watchdogs instead of triggers, guardians instead of executioners, the technology could truly serve as a shield rather than a sword. But if they build systems that fire faster than humans can think, then we may find ourselves sleepwalking into the most destructive war in history. So would AI make World War III worse or save us? The truth is, it could do either. It all depends on how we, humans, decide to use it, because AI doesn't choose. We do. The lesson is simple but urgent. Technology can't save us from ourselves. Only wisdom, restraint, and preparation can. AI may become a powerful tool for survival, but it can never replace human responsibility. And that means the future of war, peace, and survival doesn't belong to machines. It belongs to us. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think AI will prevent World War III? Or make it inevitable? Would you trust an AI system to make life and death calls in a nuclear crisis? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'll be reading them. And if you found this deep dive useful, hit that like button and subscribe. Not only does it help the channel grow, but it ensures you don't miss our next investigation, where we'll break down the overlooked ways ordinary people can prepare for the world's most unpredictable future. Because at the end of the day, the greatest weapon humanity has isn't AI, or nukes, or armies. It's knowledge, and how we choose to use it. Stay ready, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.